Hear that? All right, here we go.
To make it real quick and simple. So I got to YouTube and some stuff, and I came across, I believe it's called chicken and rice.
Hey, yo! Thanks for sharing part of your day with us. This is the Chicken and Rice Podcast. I'm Dodge P, and I'm here with my best friend, my confidant, my right-hand woman, the most beautiful girl in the world inside and out, my wife. Say hello, baby!
Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome. I'm Ray, and I'm so excited to share our journey and everything in between with you guys. The best part about it, I get to do it with my husband and my very best friend. I really couldn't ask for anything better than that. I love you, babe. You the shh. Now let's do this.
Yo. That's how I say yo now. I go yep.
That's old.
Yep. Like that?
Yeah, that's really old.
That's new. Yep. Chicken and Rice Podcast, episode 23. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Chicken Rice Pod. Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. The Chicken and Rice Podcast. We have yet to get our custom URL. We don't have enough followers yet. We need 100 subscribers. Before we could be youtube.com/chicken and rice. We got like 3. So I don't know how many we have. I know it's not 100 because I tried the other day. I really like when people ask me if I follow the numbers, like I really don't do that. Couple reasons. It could be disheartening, or it could make your head blow up. So I don't really follow the numbers. I do know that we need 100 subscribers on YouTube, because when I tried to create it the first time, I couldn't do it because we didn't have 100. So let's get 100 and we'll be golden. If you have any questions or you're interested in hearing us discuss anything, you can send an email to chickenandricepod@gmail.com. I had to get that one right. Episode 23. Or you can contact us directly from our Instagram page. That's all the intro I got. I'm not here to sell anything. So I'm selling us. So that's all the selling I have to do. I got that out the way. So we good now.
Okay. Hi.
Huh?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello. I don't know. So what's good this week?
What's good tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Tuesday. I get up 4:30 to play basketball on Tuesdays.
No. What is the date tomorrow?
Tomorrow is February.
The full date.
February is Tuesday, February 2020.
All right.
Right or wrong?
Wrong.
What's the date then?
You really want to get beat up? You know
By
what
who?
tomorrow is.
Do you know what tomorrow is? Well, it should be today or
It's our anniversary.
It's what? I didn't get you anything, babe.
We don't do that.
Oh, cool.
We don't do gift exchanges for our anniversary anymore. We used to. We don't do it anymore.
Right.
It's really more so just kind of like a little something for Christmas, a little something for the birthday, or maybe bigger for the birthday.
Right.
And anniversary is travel time.
Travel time.
So tomorrow is our 9th anniversary.
What kind of, like the 9th
wedding.
Together or marriage?
No, wedding.
Shit, it's been 9 years already?
It's been 9 years. We're
That's
11
crazy.
plus. We're 11 plus altogether.
I think it's a little over 12, but I don't know.
No, it's 11 plus.
13. keep joking around. So, 9 years married, that's crazy. Because when I figured, like when you hear like people talk about they've been married 9 years, almost 10 years, they always talking about, I'm trying to get, how do I get out of this alive? You know what I mean? But 10 years, still happy is a accomplishment. Is that what I would call it?
We're 9 years, babe.
9 and 10. You round up.
You're really bad with numbers and remembering. So just leave that to me, because
I'm just rounding up. I'm rounding up to the nearest 10th.
Okay.
So 9 rounded up is 10.
Okay.
But anyway, motherfuckers, listen to me. People in these long ass relationships, when they be like, I've been with my motherfucker 5 years, and they make it seem like it's 50 years. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. 5 years.
It flew by.
Right.
It feels like I just turn around in a circle and it's 9 years.
Mm.
So
Drop that.
It was very fast.
Mhm.
It was very fast.
Right.
And here's to many, many, many more.
Right.
Because each year I feel like it's like this. It's quicker and quicker and quicker. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what happened. And I keep trying to tell you, that's what happens when you get old. Like the time just goes, but you keep trying to deny that you're older. Like then when the first day I met you.
First of all,
I'm listening.
I don't deny that I'm older.
Okay. All right, cool.
As long as I don't look a lot older, then I'm cool.
Okay. I'm just checking. I don't know. Because every time I say you an old lady, you be getting all...
Yes, I'm your old lady.
No, I mean like old, like age, like calendar years.
No.
I don't get it. See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about.
No.
Every time I say, baby, you're getting a little old, you be like trying to deny it.
Because I'm not old. I have an old soul. Oh,
man. Okay.
But I'm young out here.
Out where?
Out here.
I don't know where.
All it is.
What is
all
that?
It is.
What is that? What is that? So,
okay. Well,
no,
anyway.
it's great. It's great. Like the 10 years. See, the 9 years did fly by. I couldn't be any happier. At least I don't think I could be. I don't look to be any happier. You fulfill all my needs, wants, and everything in between. So I'm great. Yeah, we got what happened. Even though we told a story before, like I had a 6-year plan and I nixed that. Like, yeah, what am I waiting for?
2 years
to get married.
Right.
A little over 2 years. It is. I popped the question and never look back. So if you guys have somebody that you're really into, stop fucking around and just get married. And
do it.
Like, there should be no difference between like a serious relationship, 2, 4, 5 years, and marriage.
I did not feel any different, and I thought I would.
Like you thought you would? How?
Because it's a big thing. It really is. So I really thought, I don't know that it was going to feel really different, but I'm kind of glad that it didn't, because it shouldn't. It should still be just as great afterwards than how it was before. Because if you have these ridiculous expectations now that you guys are married or that you're now married, you might get disappointed. Like, what was so different from of the month before when you weren't married, when you were engaged?
Right.
So if you were super happy then, you should be super happy after you get married. It was a little bit, excuse me, here's my nose running again. It was a little bit interesting, like changing my last name and all my Social Security, my credit cards, my license, all that was an interesting little process.
It wasn't hard though.
It wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard.
It wasn't even that. It was just the only thing that made it feel a little bit different.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so my maiden name is gone.
Right.
You didn't want me to hyphenate.
I don't understand. I don't get hyphenating.
And I don't, I was fine either way.
Right.
But it's a little tidbit that is a little story that I'm gonna,
Here we go, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
gonna put out there.
No goddamn secrets. But anyway,
nope. Because that's how dope my maiden name was.
Your maiden name was I. I was gonna be Dodge I.
No.
And I decided not to go with it.
No. But anyway, you considered for one second taking throwing tradition out the window.
Right.
And taking my last name.
I thought about it.
But then you said hell to the nah.
I didn't say hell to the nah.
You was like, no, we're gonna just stick with tradition, because we're very non-traditional people.
Right.
In a lot of ways.
Right.
So I thought that would have been pretty dope.
It would have been dope, and we could still do it. It would just.
I'm not changing my name again. I'm not going through all that name changing stuff with all the
it was
cards.
Easy.
I said it wasn't hard. It was a lot of stuff.
Oh.
It wasn't a hard thing to do, but you got to wait in Social Security. You got to do this. You got to so you got to change everything.
So what we have: Social Security, license, passports,
credit cards, whatever else that is under your old name. You have to change it. You have to change it so everything matches.
Mortgages and deeds and stuff. We'd have to change all of that. I don't think so.
That I'm not sure.
Right,
but
fuck it, let's do it. Let's go to sin.
You too late, son. You late.
Damn, son.
You're late.
I want to be a Sin now.
So that was my maiden name, was Sin, Sin, and I thought it was like super dope, like as a last name.
Right. It was pretty dope. That's why I
So-
considered taking it. Then I was like, I don't know. I mean, what you know what I mean? So but I really considered it just because it was such a, like, you could literally choose any name you want to have. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you're not stuck to, we weren't stuck to your name. We weren't stuck to my name. We could have became Mr. and Mrs. Dope as Hell. Dopazo. Or, you know what I mean? Mr. and Mrs. Dopazo. And then, you know, we could have been anything. But I seriously considered changing my last name to Sin as opposed to keeping it the same. But I don't understand the hyphen stuff. So I wasn't really.
I mean, it
for the
doesn't bother
hyphen.
me either way. Like
Right.
if someone has their name hyphenated, if mine was, it wouldn't bother me either. But if if I'll take your last name, that's what you want,
Right.
and just that's fine. Like I don't have any issues with that or any arguments about no, I want to hyphenate my name or
Right.
whatever. It's nothing like that. I was fine.
I think
with
the
taking it.
hyphen, it's like you're not fully committing. That's how I see the hyphen. Like when I see like Smith - Jones, I feel like, oh, well, they're not really committing to the whole, because the dude doesn't have his name hyphenated. He stays Smith.
Well, what if it's like a famous person who wants to keep their trademark name, like a Kim Kardashian West?
Well, in that case, she would never, well, but they never call her Kim Kardashian West unless it's like some blogs or something like that. But I'm sure she goes in as Kim Kardashian. Like, I get the whole
Right.
West part, but I'm just mean like for normal people.
Right.
To me, it says I'm not fully committed. That's how I see it. But I see things weird all the time. That's just one of those things that I see. Oh, well, she's Smith - Jones. She's not committed to that. And it's like, oh, that's the part of the reason why I didn't want to do the hyphenated thing. You know what I'm saying?
So it was all in. It was just all in one way or all in the other way.
Right. Because I wouldn't have kept my name Sin like that. That would have been, yeah, all right, yeah. You know what I mean? Then I would have been like a hypocrite because I would have felt the same way, like, oh, yeah, I'm not fully committed. So it's just, I was happy with the way it went down, and I thought it was fairly easy. Like it didn't take long, to get
It wasn't
to get all the proper paperwork. And
none
stuff.
of that stuff was super hard or took a long time or anything. It was just you had to go through a few steps
Right.
just to make sure that everything was changed, everything was right.
Right.
They spelled my name, my first real name, wrong because Ray is just short for
Right.
for my first name.
Right.
And they spelled it wrong throughout my whole life. So I don't know. They forgot a letter. So every time I would try to go somewhere or do something, oh, well, the names doesn't match the license, and this doesn't match that, and that doesn't. And I'm just like, off of one letter. I don't even
Right.
know how that happened, but it did, and that was annoying in itself. So it kind of worked out that when I changed my last name, I threw the H back in there,
Right.
and then everything matched.
Everything came back in order. Right.
Yeah. So it
except
worked
for that
out.
time I booked your plane ticket in your short name.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be left behind right now.
So we were going somewhere and I had booked the plane tickets, of course,
Under Ray.
under just Ray, and we got to the airport and they were checking IDs, and the chick at the counter was like, "This is not the name on the ticket," and I'm like, "What? Yes, it is." And then I looked at the ticket, I was like, "Oh shoot!" She was kind enough to change it right then and there. She could have been an a-hole and like, no,
Right.
you know what I mean? I guess that's the power of being nice, I guess, because she held all the power right there. Because I wasn't sure what would happen. Like, I've never booked the ticket in the wrong name and had to get it changed at the last minute. And she didn't charge us anything or anything like that.
Right.
She just switched it off the rip.
She saved the trip.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
I was like, oh hell, what in the world? But the last name matched, so maybe she was just like, oh, okay.
Right.
Like, so
yeah, I don't even know how I did that. I think we were going on a cruise too, and I don't think the cruise ship would have let us on with the
Right.
wrong names on the joint. So
oh, you know what I wanted to ask you about?
What?
Now you're always more like in depth with like what's going on and with the research and with everything.
right,
Talking about a cruise, so you know there's a cruise ship right now that's quarantined
right,
because of the coronavirus.
right.
What the hell is this virus? Is it man-made like I've heard? Because I don't even know what it is or what it does to you. And how does it kill you? Or what are the symptoms? Or
I
what?
guess the symptoms are like flu symptoms. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Corona is the area in China where it originated. And I guess it's just another flu-like virus that they have no cure for, I guess. I'm going to only assume I didn't deep dive into the coronavirus, partly because I didn't think it would affect me or us in our travels or people that we interacted with. So I didn't do a whole lot of research about it, but I do know that it's like a strain of the flu virus, I think.
Okay.
So I guess what happened was the current virus, flu virus or whatever they had over there mutated into a strain that they don't have any medicine for.
That's very scary because back in the day, you could die off of a common cold or the flu or whatever, that something that was so minute that could be fixed today with a vaccine or a simple shot or something like that right. Back in the day everyone would just die off of. Like, it's really insane when you think about it, back in the day, that the lifespan of the average person was so young.
That's crazy.
So like young.
What, 30? 35?
If they make it to that point, is very, like, the back in the day stuff is very interesting to me.
Right.
It was also very scary when they used to try to do these surgeries. They would like cut open your head and try to work on your brain while you're still awake, and all this.
Yeah, nah.
All this insane stuff that they did back in the day. It's very interesting. But yeah, like the fact that to me, it goes back to something similar to that because there is no vaccine for it right now. Right. That people are really dropping like flies from this scary flu thing.
I mean,
did you ever see the movie about I can't think of the name right now. It was a big movie about the Ebola virus. Back in the 90s, I believe it was. It was just scary.
Yeah, I don't watch shit like that.
It's very scary because it's out there. Remember, Ebola made it over here.
Yeah,
that was too long ago.
But that, you know how people were getting Ebola though. Ebola was coming from, and I know it might sound gross, but I think it was transmitted from people boo-booing and then not washing their hands. And then I
heard it was from monkeys,
from the booty to the mouth. It's crazy. That's part of the reason why I don't shake a lot of hands, because people don't wash their hands.
And I see it firsthand all the time. It's really, really nasty. Like, wash your hands. Like, please go to the bathroom and wash your hands. I don't think that's a hard thing to do. Just wash it.
Oh no, is that Ebola or is that E. coli? I don't know.
I think that's E. coli or something. No, Ebola. I think that is.
Like, is that E. coli or Ebola? I don't know what's what. Somebody probably was watching this like, what the hell is he talking about? He talking about Ebola.
He said boo-boo.
E. coli. Yeah, you and boo-boo and then you don't wash your hands.
I think they said it was something about transmitted from like monkeys or something from Africa, but I'm not exactly sure. That was a long time ago. I cannot think of the name of that movie, but it was a pretty big, it was called Outbreak.
Okay.
Outbreak. It came out in the 90s.
Right.
And I remember watching it and just be like, oh my God, like this is some scary stuff. Like, what's scary to me is there is people out there for like warfare. They're going into like bioweaponry.
Right.
And that's very scary because you can wipe, if something is airborne, it's a wrap. Like, it's done. I just don't think, just like this.
I don't think that a lot of these viruses are natural. That's just the conspiracy theorist in me. I mean, if you look at the Tuskegee experiment, shit like that, where governments have tested shit on their own people.
Of course.
So I just don't know. Like, it could be a test for chemical warfare. I don't know.
All this stuff, a lot of this stuff is man-made, So it's like, I'm sure there's still tons of testing and everything else that goes on behind closed doors. Truth is stranger than fiction, and all the imagine the scariest or whatever movies that you've ever seen before.
Right.
Real
Titanic
stuff has like, it's literally you'll have something real happen that was crazier than that. So truth is insane. Crazier than fiction.
I think all movies come from life anyway.
They do.
There's no way that you can't. You could tell me that. I think movies are desensitization. Is that word? Desensitization?
It's to desensitize you.
Yeah.
to
I think
what's
they're
really going on,
to
so that when it comes out, you're like, oh, I saw that
it
before.
don't bother
Oh,
me
that
that
was in a
much.
movie, or subconsciously you might not even remember the movie, but you know that you saw it somewhere before.
So it don't
So
bother
it's
you as
not a
much.
big deal.
Yeah, that's why I'm so afraid of Black Mirror, because that shit. I think all that shit
That
is
stuff
real.
is real.
They
Black
already
Mirror
doing
is
that
already
shit.
happening in half of the world.
That's scary.
China and all. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, definitely in China with the
cameras everywhere.
the cameras and the rating.
The rating, you can't get on a
Fuck outta
plane.
here.
Like
What
it's
you mean? I can't get on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, your rating is too low. You have to pay money, do community service to get your rating back up.
Yeah.
Your kids can't get into some schools. It's nuts. We are there. Yo, we are there.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nutso. Somebody asked me today, somebody half watches us, which I'm okay with.
Okay.
So they were like, they were talking about the body count episode that we did, which was the last episode. So they were like, she threw me off because she was like, oh, well, I don't think you should be asking that question anyway. And I was like, hold on, Missy. I didn't ask the question. I didn't ask for my girl's body count when we were dating.
Right.
She was like, here's where she lost me, because she was like, well, I feel like a woman could do whatever she wants. And I said, that's what my wife said. A woman could do what she wants. And she was like, and I was like, well, you just got to understand, like, if a dude asks you and you be like, yo, my 100, I'm like, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy. And so if you have 100, that's on you, but I don't want to know that. And so that's why I would never ask. And so then she was like, well, what do you think about, your partner questioning you? And I'm like, I can't answer that question because I don't know what you're talking about. So she was like, I guess one of her ex-boyfriends or some shit like that, he would go away. I don't know what that means. He would come back. And when he would come back, he would ask, did you sleep with anybody? And I was confused because I'm like, well, did you answer him? And she was like, no, it's none of his business. She didn't say no or yes. She would ask, why are you asking me that?
Well, this partner, in quotes, is it a boyfriend? Is it
I guess they were dating. I don't know what dating means, though.
I don't know what dating means nowadays, because
she's
today is
a little older. She's like probably your age.
But I feel like different people have different definitions of dating.
Right.
So, oh yeah, we're just dating.
Right.
But other people's like, yo, we're dating.
Right.
Like it's a thing. Like we're together, we're dating.
But see, you could be dating exclusively or non-exclusively. So I get that too.
Right. That word is very kind of like a little sketchy
dating?
of what.
What, the word dating?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's wide open.
It is. It's different to different people.
Especially if you don't communicate. So what I said was, well, why didn't you answer his question?
Right.
And then she was like, well, because he shouldn't be asking me. I said, that's why you're in this angst, because he asked you a direct question. You wouldn't answer him whether it's yes or no. And then, it turns into something else because his question went unanswered. So I said, and that's why a lot of relationships are jacked up, because people don't communicate. I said in the beginning, which was really kind of like asshole-ish, we used to have conversations and you used to kind of be the same way. And I wouldn't accept any answer but yes or no, right or wrong, because a lot of the questions, and I'm not going to say accept, but I wanted to have you in the habit of just answering a question and let me deal with what that answer was. So I said, well, what if your dude asked, I'm sorry, I sound like a damn Mayfair chick. What if I don't know where that came from. What if the dude asked you, yo, did you sleep with somebody? And you said yes. Then that's either the end of the conversation, or y'all deal with I don't want to say repercussions. Y'all deal with the situation of you sleeping with somebody and then telling him yes. And you deal with that instead of you not answering the question and telling him he shouldn't be asking you questions. Like, that's your man or you're dating. Maybe I feel like he should have the right to ask questions. Now, why he would be asking you that question, I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I went back to us. I said, it was hard for her because I was so direct, but I was at the point where I wasn't going to waste a lot of time with trying to decipher weird answers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you asking me? Automatically, when you don't say yes or no, when you don't say no and you say something else, then that means yes to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of leaves it too open for them to guess. So
right.
if you don't say no, it's kind of like yes.
Right. And
even if that's not the case, but then why not just say no?
right.
So,
I think she was telling me, oh, it's like none of his business. And I'm like, that's not cool. I said,
well, then y'all shouldn't be really fucking with each other. Or to me, I would think that, again, I don't know the level of the relationship,
right.
the dating. I don't know if it's like a serious dating thing or if it's not. Because if it's not, then I'm like, yo, it's none of your business. Like, this is open. We're not exclusive. Like, it could be yes, it could be no, but this is really none of your business. Like, you don't need to know. Now, if we were exclusively dating and then I come back from somewhere or go away or whatever, I don't really know what that means. And you ask me, if you have to ask me that, yeah, we shouldn't be together or we shouldn't be dating, because if we're exclusively dating, I would expect you to have enough trust or faith in me, but that's not what I'm doing when we're not around each other.
Right.
So again, I don't know the level of seriousness.
Right. Yeah, and I was
in the
confused.
Situation.
I was confused because I'm like, well, maybe he thought, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It was such a tough question, but I said, listen.
I have to know the details because even though we like to keep things black and white, nothing is really black and white. So there's always a gray area, and it might be that because I don't know. It doesn't seem, because it's not like saying, oh, my man is asking me this. Why is your man asking you that? Or was my husband asking me this?
Right.
But if some guy you're dating, again, is it exclusive? Is it not? So if it's not, then it is none of his business.
Right. I don't know what the level is. Or maybe one thought it was exclusive, the other one thought it wasn't. I don't know.
Well, that should be cleared up before. I feel like that happens a lot, that one person thinks it's more serious than the other.
Right.
And then it's going to be a problem, because this should be something that should be discussed. Yo, are we exclusive?
I agree.
Or are we doing what we want to do? And we just, doing us right now.
We link up when we link up.
Exactly. Is it straight booty call? Is it like, what is it? Because when you kind of just leave it and never really, like, a lot of people say, well, I don't like titles. It's not really about titles at this point, because it's just about how serious it is. So if it's just us, then it's just us. Then okay, we don't need a title, man, girl, woman, boyfriend, girl. Are we exclusive? Yes or no? If no, okay, cool. I'm gonna do me. And then when we get together, we get together. If we are exclusive, then we don't need to have a title, but we both need to be on the same page and know that even though we don't quote unquote have a title, you're not dealing with anybody else, and I'm not dealing with anybody else.
I told her that part of her problem was that they didn't set up the relationship in the beginning for longevity. So, I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. I said, the body count. I said it's just weird. I said I'm not in. I said I haven't. I said our relationship has never been one of, has never been one where questions that were asked didn't get answered.
Right.
Like serious questions directly.
Absolutely, and and that is something that has to be set up from the beginning, because if it's not, and then all of a sudden all these questions come up, it's like, yo, where is this coming from?
Right.
Or why are you so? Or if you ask me something one time, don't ask me again. If you ask me something and then I answer it right then and there, don't keep on questioning me. Because if you question me, keep on questioning over and over and over, now we have an issue. Now we have an issue because I just told you what it was. Now, if I gave you reason beforehand, or gave you, if I did give you a reason to question me more than once, then that's a different story. But if I never did and I told you something, take that and just run with it. Because
me?
I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying in general.
Me looking at me.
If you, because you're right in front of my face, the screen. But if you ask me something and I answer you and you keep on asking me, I'm like, bro, like what's the problem?
That's that.
Like, is there something going on that you're doing that where you keep on asking me the same question? Like, are you worried about something because you're doing something? Because now you're gonna start making me think about what's going on with you. So it's a sticky situation. It's funny. I feel like a lot of things that you don't take care of in the beginning of the relationship is just going to keep being that way. And then when things start changing, now it's going to be a weird thing. It's like, where is this coming from?
Right. No, I agree.
So you set everything up from the beginning a certain type of way, and it carried through the whole relationship, and it worked out great, which is no BS.
But it was but I don't know if you weren't like used to that.
I
right?
wasn't used to it, but
Mhm.
I was, how old was I? I was 25 years old. I was in 2 long relationships already. Serious, very serious relationships.
Right.
And I wasn't really used to the forwardness and the straight up and down, like, no, but you're also age wise, you're the oldest. I've dated, the boyfriend before you was 2 years younger than me.
Right.
So, and guys, we all know that guys mature a little later
Faster.
than guys mature slower than, well, today I think faster, because the girls
I don't
today are maturing they're maturing backwards.
I don't
like
know.
it's whatever. Anyway,
I just
yeah.
think it was really an adult, like it was finally like an adult relationship.
It was
for
it
both
was-
of us.
Yes, it was a very adult relationship.
Right.
But the great thing about it is that we still are silly as hell, and we still joke all the time and this and that. But when it comes to serious stuff, that, like, super serious topics and this and that, very adults about it. So.
Right. I mean, how else would you?
No, because kids fight. People fight like kids, and
Yeah, I don't
people.
know about that.
I did that for years. That's what I knew. So I would start stuff. I would blow up your phone and call you 80 times in a row. I did all that. Like, I was the psycho who would break stuff and get a little physical and this and that. So I grew out of that, and I can't imagine going back to that once you're out of it. So that I feel like some guys like the drama.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because of, I don't know, makeup sex or whatever have you. Listen, ain't no sex in the world that you can stress me out that bad
Like
for
every day.
nothing just so we can have makeup sex.
I know people
You're
that
crazy.
argue every day.
It's not, no.
Or every other day, and I'm just
That
like,
means you have
yo,
wax sex when you're not angry at each
crazy.
other?
I couldn't. Yeah, I don't have the energy for that shit.
I don't either. I don't have time. Like, go argue. Go over there. Don't nobody want to hear you.
I'll fall right to sleep on your ass. Wake up like, yo, are you still talking? And go right back to sleep. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
I
but
don't have time for that.
yeah,
It's-
before, like I was telling you before that, and I've been in bad relationships where, like, I would be in the same house with a chick and not talk to her for like 8 days,
That's insane.
and we would sleep in the same bed, and I'm just like, yo, when I say that shit back now, I sound like a nut. Like, yeah, like,
We all have done nut shit, like, in relationships.
yeah,
We have done. I stayed out and waited on someone's porch.
yeah, that's crazy.
Waited on someone's, not even a porch. They didn't even have a porch. It was just the steps.
Yeah, you wildin'.
The ste- all morning, all night, all morning. Waited. I don't know how many hours I waited. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. Just sitting waiting.
Whew.
Wait till I see you.
9 hours.
And I waited so long,
Your
and
ass
he
was
never
probably
showed
flat
up.
after that.
Well, it was on a stoop.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying. That's why
concrete.
this shit was flat. Got up, you was like straight all back and shit. Like, yo, really?
Oh man, I melted into the
Yeah,
concrete.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I did all that. Like,
Mm.
showing up at somebody's house, like, yo, you not answering me. Call you 50 times up, and next thing you know,
Nah.
and just to argue some more. I've done all that. Like, I got to a point where if I didn't argue for a week,
Right.
that was a long time.
yeah.
And it's just too much. It's too much work, and there's a lot of energy that's
Right.
just for nothing. And the funny thing about that is, most of that stuff I can't even tell you what it was about. It was all dumb shit.
That's nuts. That's the crazy part.
It's all I've been through. That kind of relationship, and it's so draining.
Right.
I was young. It was from my teens
Right.
to my early 20s. So I used to wild out like that.
I find that strange because your parents were married. You know what I mean? So I will figure. I think here's what I think. I could be totally wrong.
Okay.
I think that people, kids who grow up in like a mother and dad household, they tend to have. I would think they would tend to have if they're. Let me start over. Children who grow up in a house with a mother and father who are happy and who've been married for a long time, I would assume find themselves in relationships that are the same way, as opposed to single parent households or relationships that may be abusive in one way or the other, maybe it verbal, maybe it physical. I feel like those attributes carry on through the kids. I never saw like a healthy man woman relationship in my entire life, like growing up as a kid.
And this is what you have now.
Right, because I knew what I didn't want. But I had but hold on. But I had also gone through the bullshit, like them bullshit relationships that were like the relationships that I witnessed growing up.
Right.
So at some point I had to say, you know what? And fortunately it was with you that I was like, we have to break this pattern.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Mm-hmm. With the healthy family thing?
Parents being happy and then their children following right after it, because you don't know until you date these people, until you go through what you go through in life. I was 15 years old, so this is my first love, and I loved him. I still love him. I will always love him, always have a place in my heart, because he was my first love. I learned a lot, and we just weren't compatible.
You think you guys were too young?
We were young. There was a lot of jealousy, and then there was substances that distorted his reality. Right. Okay. So with all those things into place, it didn't work out. Right. It didn't work out, but he was my first love. So I feel like you just go through these things in life. Sure. Wrong people, right people, great people, shitty people. It's just life. It's just part of the journey. Right. So, so you reach that destination, you're gonna hit some bumps along the way. You're gonna get, wrong turn. You're gonna get all these things. But I always say that when you go through dating and you go through just having these relationships, it just prepares you more and more and more to let you know what you want, what you don't want, and it shapes you to be ready for the person that you're going to be meant to be with. Sure. So you have to go through these things. It just sucks sometimes, because some people get stuck in 20-year that's tough. Relationships, and it just doesn't work out, and they've never been happy. But people get comfortable, and then people don't want to leave, and then like the longer you wait the harder it is to leave, more difficult, and then it's just not a good thing. I say get the fuck out of it. Get out of it as soon as you can. If you start getting like red flags on like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, you don't have to deal with it. Don't wait so long until it gets more and more difficult to leave the relationship. So if you're not happy, you could do bad by yourself. You don't need somebody else to like make you miserable or put extra stuff on, weight on your shoulder that you don't need or whatever. You don't need any of that. So, excuse me. I feel like a lot of people don't want to be alone.
Yeah, that's tough too. That's a hard thing too. Like,
I don't know. So I'd rather be miserable than be alone. And I'm like, that is just backwards thinking. I'd rather be alone and happy with nobody on my back and me doing my own thing. Right. And then if somebody comes along, cool. Right. But people would literally rather be fighting every day than to be alone.
Well, some people don't. You need some water, babe?
Yes, please.
I think some people don't know how to be alone. So it's tough. And I think those are the type of people who are in bad relationships too, when they say, well, shit, I don't know. You know what I mean? If you can't love yourself, I find it very, I don't find it surprising that you can't find somebody else to love you. And that was really, I think my last two relationships before you really set me up for like success on my next one. Cause I was like, yo, I don't have this type of time to waste. I was just coming into me, like the knucklehead phase was finally fading off. Like I was becoming more serious. Career was on an upward track. Like all the shit was going like in a direction where I was like, yo, I have to kind of like become a man now. You know what I'm saying? I fucked around from teenager to 30s, 35. And one day I just woke up and said, yo, I want to be married. And like, that was...
You had never discussed marriage with the ex before me? I think you guys did.
Which one?
The one before me.
Nah, I don't think we did. I don't remember.
I talked
that
about
we did.
kids or not having any.
Right, but that doesn't mean marriage. So no. But I always knew that she was a little too young for me anyway. So, and that was just a reality. Like I always said that I would set her up to be good for someone else. And, you know, a lot of times that's what people do, whether it be man or woman. They groom that motherfucker that they with
Right.
just to see them leave and become the man that they needed with somebody else.
Right.
And so I already knew that, like, yo, I would tell her all the time, like, you're too young, but we'll ride this, you know, until the wheels fall off. And that's basically what, like, literally the wheels fucking fell off that shit.
But she was only a couple years younger than me.
Right, but that still made a world of difference. Like mentally, she was a lot younger than you.
Right.
So, you know, hype beast, and all that other shit. So it was like, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her now. I don't look back. I never look back. So I don't know. But I knew from my heart that we would never be in it for the long haul.
Right. Well, I knew it by just certain moves that was made of the clout chasing and then the not putting up the fact that she had a boyfriend of a couple years.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? So it was just certain things. It was like, okay.
And it's crazy because a lot of that shit didn't really bother me. But, you know, looking back on it, it's like, oh, well, you didn't do that because of this.
Right.
But, you know, I asked about it. Here's again a communication. I asked about it, and it was like, oh, well, it's better for me in this track if I'm single. And
if you're single, that means
whatever.
dudes is trying to smash.
Dudes
and
is trying-
you just
right.
leaving it out there for them to think that that's possible. Or maybe it was possible.
Maybe it
or
was.
Maybe they
I know
did
that it
smash.
was.
You know what
I
I'm
know that
saying?
they did
So it's
smash.
like,
Yeah.
you know, me and her had a little beef. So, you know, we just...
Oh, boy, here we
So, you know, she wasn't my favorite person. But...
she was nasty. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So,
she was a nasty person.
So it
So
was...
tough. That's right. The better woman won. Right? Yes or no? Right or wrong?
Motherfucker. Yeah, God
So-
damn it.
All right, so let me see what happened. Oh,
That's what we talk about our 9th anniversary.
Do you know what tomorrow? Oh, we talked about.
Yeah.
That. What is a deal breaker?
Yes. So this was
For me?
So this
For
was
you?
a question. No, this is a topic.
Okay, the
that
last
I
topic
wanted-
of this episode.
Yes. So this episode was all relationship,
I think. Yeah,
except
we didn't
the
talk anything.
coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
It's all relationship.
Health.
So I wanted to know if you started dating a girl and she's beautiful, she's funny, she's great, she's awesome, the sex is great. What is that one thing that would be a deal breaker for you that you're just like, nah, this ain't it. I can't deal with.
And I'm gonna probably sound like a bad guy for this,
All right.
but it would be kids or kid.
But you've been with somebody who had a child.
You asked me what's a deal breaker for me and a potential partner now.
Okay. And-
Kid or kids, yeah. So and that was part of my deal with you. Like if you would have had kids, I don't think we would have worked. Like I was at the point where I was like, nah, I don't need that. I don't want to call it distraction, but it is kind of like a distraction. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I understand. Excuse me. I understand that life happened before me. I'm just telling you what would be a deal breaker for me. And that's in all honesty.
Okay.
So I could sit here and be like, yo, you know, nah, we could deal with it's cool that you got a kid, but deep down inside it's not. And then for me, I would gone into this like lying
right.
from the beginning, which is something that I said I wouldn't do. You know, when we linked up, like, yo, I have these are all the things
right.
that I need, that I would like. But like if something were to happen between us, even though I'm older, it would still be like, yo, unless your kids were grown and out of the house,
Right.
then that's different. But like if you had kids like 0 to teenager,
Right.
I can't. It's
You know what's saying that is really insane when I think about it, because I don't think I've ever dated someone with kids.
right.
Like, I don't think I ever did. That wouldn't be a deal breaker for me if a guy had kids, but it would be a deal breaker for me if he had that crazy baby mama, like that baby mama drama that like I'm gonna have to fight her every time. Like I don't have time for that.
Well,
But-
look at, the son's mom. She was a little wacky at first.
She didn't speak to me at first. I said hi, and she acted like I didn't exist.
Right.
And
I have no idea
then
why.
by the end of the day, she was cool.
Yeah, I was best friends. No, I'm just...
And then ever since then, we've been super cool. So I don't have an issue. But that's not a crazy situation to me. It's not a crazy baby mama situation. Crazy baby mama is someone who want to show up, who want to get in my face, who want to be like nasty. Like, you gonna back up because you don't know me. Yeah. And y'all not together. I don't see me and you. There's nothing. Like, what are we? Right. What are you talking to me for? What are you dealing with me for?
And it was nuts because I wasn't with her for a while, like years.
Yeah. Right.
So I didn't understand that.
She wasn't being. She felt some type of way, and she kind of just like ignored me when I said hi. Right. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I just kept it moving. Right. But literally, I'm like, yeah, I know I didn't do nothing. And your son invited me to his birthday party. I mean, he was a kid then, but he invited me and whatever. But we have a good relationship now. Sure. Me and G, your son I call him my son. He is my son too. Mm-hmm. We have a wonderful relationship. Right. Like we're homies. Like we've never had, it's not so much motherly, but it is.
It's very friendly.
It's very friendly, but I do give him a lot of advice on a lot of different things. Right. And him and I are great. We've always been great. And I love him. I mean, he's the closest thing that I have to my own son. Right. And we have a really good relationship. So I'm happy about that. But you're like the first person who I dated who had children, which is kind of crazy when I'm thinking about it. But my deal breaker. No, one more. Go ahead.
And the other thing is cigarette smoking.
That's mine. I was gonna say mine isn't that intense or crazy or whatever about the. Right. So mine is like if I met someone and he is fly, can dress, sexy, great conversation, this and that, and he refused to stop smoking, deal breaker. Like, I'm good. You can smoke over there. Like, if you smoke weed, I don't mind it because to me the smell doesn't really stick, and just you're not doing it in my house. Right. And I really don't want to see you puffing. I mean, nowadays it's different with the pens and stuff like that with the oils. The smell literally is non-existent. You puff in the house.
Jinky winkies. Is that what you say when you say something at the same time? No, I don't know.
But no, it's Jinx.
Oh, I thought it was like Jinky Winkies.
What
it's not Jinky Winkies?
It's Jinx. And then you're supposed to say your butt stinks.
No, my butt don't stink though. My farts don't stink.
That was what the kids used to say. Jinx, your butt stinks.
No, I'm not.
Whatever. But no, there's no Jinky Winkies. What in the world?
Winkies? I don't know.
But that's to me. Right. That's my deal breaker. If you smoke and you refuse to stop smoking, it's just not gonna work because I hate cigarettes, cigars. I hate any type of smoke because I don't smoke. Right. So I hate any type of smoke. But the funniest thing is the smoke that really doesn't bother me, like actually smoking something, is like a Black and Mild because I kind of like the smell. And the smoke for some reason doesn't burn my lungs, doesn't hurt. You know, at my job they allow.
It's like a candy coming out that shit.
Yeah. At my job they allow smoking, and my poor lungs. My lungs are probably as black as my shirt, but I cannot stand how I smell. Right. When I come home, and I can't stand the smell over there. And cigars, forget about it. It's nasty. It's so strong, and people just. Guys think it's like cool or something when they blow it in a chick's face or like
a cigar.
They just
cigar is such like fucking like smoking a dick.
And I'm just like, oh my god, like go somewhere with that. You stink.
I don't get the whole cigar smoking thing. I don't even know what it's about, what it's supposed to signify, or I just think
I don't know why guys do it. Can you guys tell me why do guys smoke cigars? Why do guys smoke?
Because I think it looks silly.
Because you don't even inhale it, right? So you just like. And then you just blow it out.
I guess. So what? All the finger shit and all, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, there's some shit that I'm just like, yo, why? As a dude, I'm just like, why do you want to do that? Like, what about smoking a cigar is cool? I don't get it. I'd never.
That smoke is thick.
I'd never smoked a cigar with the cigar tobacco in it. Like, we've done other things with cigar wrappers, but just like to smoke a cigar, I don't understand it. And why do they cost so much?
I don't know, because it's like 50 cigarettes in one, and even though it doesn't have all the things in a cigarette,
Right.
it's just the smell is horrendous. It literally burns my eyes. Like I tear up and it burns my eyes and it burns my chest.
All right.
So I really hate smoke.
So is that the
any kind.
only deal breaker for you? There's got to be one more thing.
I'm sure there's other things, but to me that's one of the main things, because that's how much I despise smoke.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things, but they're not really sticking out right now.
Right.
Kids aren't one of them. Kids, I don't mind the kids. Maybe kids with maybe if you had like 4 kids with 4 different baby moms.
That nigga is working. He's working.
Different situation, because if we were to ever get together and we were to have our child, you're not going to be able to spend the same amount of time. Like there's just no way humanly possible that you will be able to treat all these kids equally. Yeah. It just is 4 different households. Yeah. Now with ours 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you would still have to take care of the other children and make time for them, which is going to take away from your child here. All because it's in separate households. Right. If it's like you have a kid with somebody else and then you have your own kid, that's like that's as normal as anything. So, but no, I think that is definitely a deal breaker, that you have so many kids by so many different women.
My man doing, you know what I mean?
Just planting seeds, Johnny Appleseed, like, you know what
just I'm saying, like, he's doing his thing. Let him live.
Wrap it up.
So listen, my advice to couples that are listening or watching, if I had one piece of advice that I could give to you to help your relationship be as successful as ours is, I would tell you to keep the lines of communication open, as wide open as you can. There should be no reason why you can't.
Yes.
And you could call me what you want or say what you want about that statement. If that statement is not priority in your relationship, then your relationship is doomed for failure. And that's a bad thing to say, but I'm just telling you from experience, because I remember our relationship was wide open. And I remember one time you asked me, this is when I had the studio, and you asked me about where I was going or what I was doing or whatever. And I got really standoffish. And I remember this day like it was yesterday. And I felt like I didn't want to answer questions, but I didn't have a reason why I didn't want to answer questions. I was reverting back to that dude who was like, don't ask me no questions.
Right, you gave me a whole attitude.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it was that I didn't even ask in a nasty or malicious way, or like in a questioning type of way, like, where are you going?
Right.
Because it's all about tone and it's all about delivery.
Right.
And my delivery was chill. I was like, oh, where you going?
Right.
And you were like,
but that was many, many years ago.
Yeah, that was in the beginning.
That was in the beginning.
That was in the beginning. And because you didn't want to answer me, to me it was just like, what's your problem?
It made it seem like I was hiding something. I had something to hide.
What is it that you don't want to tell me?
Right.
Because I'm not asking you nothing insane. I'm like, yo, what's going? Like, what's up? Where you going? Like, it was literally just a simple question. And you made a big deal out of it. And then later on, you realized that you made a big deal out of it. Right. And then you checked yourself.
Sure.
So
there's nothing wrong
before you wreck yourself. You know what? I had one more thing about the deal breaker thing. It's not mine. Yes, but it is. I talked to. No, it's not mine.
Okay.
But I talked to my good friend today. No.
Oh.
And his was fucked up feet.
Oh yeah.
But because he was like, the chick could be bad. She could be just everything. And if your feet aren't right. He said, nah. He's like, I just can't.
But listen. Feet could be fixed like 2 or 3 visits to the, to the fucking.
No, what if you just had like super jacked up? What if it looked like your toes were like stacking some gang signs or something?
Then you got to stop wearing narrow shoes.
Some people are just born with ugly feet.
Listen, my toes used to be jacked up like from playing basketball. You can fix your feet. If you got the joints that's on top of each other like this, then you would have to always wear socks around me. And don't be.
But so if I had really jacked up feet, that wouldn't be a deal breaker.
You would have to wear socks, and you couldn't rub your feet on my legs in the bed. I don't know.
And that's one of the things he said. He was like, he's like, when when you can't put your feet on me. He said, when you're watching a movie and
Right.
you just lay your feet on me and I'll rub
Right.
your feet. It can't be none of that. He's like, no.
Yeah,
He's like, that is literally the deal breaker.
That is.
For him, it's just jacked up feet. So I thought that was pretty funny. But
It is. And
everybody has their thing.
Yeah, I would have to be like, yo, babe, put on some socks real quick.
So that's not a deal breaker then.
It's not a deal. I never said it was. Not for me.
Okay.
Because you can easily cover that up or go get it fixed. Like you could start.
How about dude that like jump in the pool with the socks on? Because
My man jumped in the pool with the socks on because he was. I never ever saw his feet either.
He will never show it.
That's
because
crazy.
We were in the pool and he kept his socks on.
Yeah, that's nuts. Well,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Listen, stranger things have happened. Feet. I mean, I don't have a foot fetish, but I also think we could resolve that with a podiatrist and a good pedicure.